Welcome back to the Baddest cast. I'm Mediocre Dude, and this is a homeless person I picked up, Sjotyme.
They also call me Bro Time, because I'm so cool, and I'm from the hood.
You're from the hood. Ha! We did it!
He got it. He got my joke. Let me take a sip of,
Vodka.
My gin and juice.
Yeah. See, I keep my glasses transparent, so you know that I'm going straight.
Wow, what a straight edge.
Yeah, I know, right? SXE, right?
XXE?
SXE.
Sexy.
Exactly.
That's what he's really trying to say, everyone.
I know how to spell, sort of.
Yeah. Where's the Grinch at? Hope you guys had a good Christmas.
He's been replaced.
Yeah.
I'd like to introduce the Kramer.
Oh, yeah! Duh! Hey, Kramer.
How you doing?
Yeah.
Raising your eyebrows slightly, I think. Mm-hmm. And like kind of kneading my head.
Yeah. For anybody that doesn't know who Kramer is, get your head checked.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Seinfeld was like a big influence on us growing up, I think.
It was a huge influence.
It was something we shared.
Yeah. I remember my mom every Thursday when it was like new episodes were airing that she'd have like a party of like her friends come and they would like watch Seinfeld, they would watch Friends, they would watch ER, and like that's kind of like when I got into it. I was like really young, like around like maybe age like 10, 11. I forgot when it originally came out, but yeah, Seinfeld. And this just been sitting in your room, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've been there for probably 15 years.
Yeah.
We just dug it out for the podcast.
I remember this when we first met. Yeah.
And Eric was so excited when I suggested it.
Yep.
He was like, yes, that's perfect.
Yeah, because we did need like a little... We were feeling that it was a little empty being representative of Matt, Mediocre Dude, because like there's my guitar, the skateboard, and then like...
I was very left out.
This piece of shit. And I just kind of felt like Matt didn't have... Do you mind if I call you Matt?
I slip up too, so I don't know, man.
All right, well anyways, MD... I felt like he didn't have anything to represent himself, and we didn't know what to do. And then he came up with this, and I was like, "Yes,
yes!"
Hump the microphone.
No,
and the Kramer poster when he's not here.
Yeah, that probably already happened.
Oops, I'm sorry.
Did he hurt you?
I'm sorry. Anyways, tell me about today's podcast.
I also wanted to bring to light, so to speak, the lighting in our frame has changed a little bit. It's a bit foggy out. We got our evening ambience at 11 a.m.
Yes.
So let us know what you think.
Luckily, it's a shitty day outside.
It's very romantic in here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You see?
Can you play a more romantic song?
Can I play a more romantic song?
We don't have time for that. What have I done? I've fallen in love with you all over again.
That was kind of romantic.
So we'll talk about the other thing we did romantically last night.
Oh yeah! Let the world know.
We watched the Meyerowitz Stories.
Really great movie starring Dustin Hoffman, Ben Stiller, Adam Sandler, and some other folk.
Emma Thompson and Elizabeth Marvel.
Yeah, pretty cool movie. I liked it. Like, it was just kind of out of the blue. We were hanging out yesterday. He's just like, hey, I have a movie of suggestion that we could do today. And I'm like, what?
I sound exactly like that.
Yeah. And he was like, well, it's called Meyerowitz Stories.
And you were like, that doesn't mean anything to me. What is that about?
And then he said,
I don't know why you're doing me and I'm doing you, but that's what we're doing.
And then he said, Adam Sandler's in it. And I was like, all right, let's watch it.
Which was interesting because it's Adam Sandler in a relatively dramatic role.
Mm-hmm. And we plan on going to go see
Uncut Gems soon.
Uncut Gems today.
We don't want to date this podcast, though.
Shut up, Sjotyme.
Shut up, me.
Well, they don't know like the exact day it is.
It's true.
The movie's out though, and that's fine.
It is out.
But anyways, yeah, we saw the Meyerowitz Story,
and this was also a Netflix original. Came out in 2017. I did read something interesting about it. It was because of that year of Netflix releases that the Cannes Film Festival kind of kicked Netflix out. One of those rules about your releases. Oh. Now, they actually want the film to be in French cinemas, and then it cannot release on streaming for 3 years to be eligible for the film festival.
To be eligible for the film festival?
Yeah, for the Cannes Film Festival.
Oh, wow. So that's like a way of preserving kind of like that theatrical experience.
That's just a way to stick it to Netflix as far as I can tell.
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah.
I did notice, I looked up the image of like the Meyerowitz Stories, like of like the cover of it, and I remember it said streaming now, I think on Netflix, but also in select theaters.
Yeah, what was interesting about it was it streamed and had its theatrical release on the same day.
Okay.
So that was what Netflix was doing at that time. And it had a box office of 20,000, which for a small film like that was already on Netflix, that's pretty good. It's interesting. Mm-hmm. It's probably not on that many screens either. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to raise that to kind of connect it back to the previous podcast we had about Netflix releases, because we just found another one.
Yeah.
This is from the same director of Marriage Story, which was a Netflix release this year as well. Noah Baumbach is the director. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to watch it because in preparation of Uncut Gems, we want to see another dramatic role from Adam Sandler.
Yeah, and I haven't seen an Adam Sandler movie, like a newer one, in the longest time. So I was like really excited.
I haven't seen any in a while myself.
Yeah, so I was just like really excited just to watch an Adam Sandler movie. But then like I don't know if you mentioned or not that Ben Stiller was in it. But
no, I didn't remember actually.
So like and you didn't mention Dustin Hoffman, so like I felt like I was in for like a real treat.
Yeah.
As like the movie went on, and I was like, oh, Ben Stiller's in this. Like
another comedic actor in a dramatic role.
Yeah, one of my favorites. So, and then I love Dustin Hoffman as well. So
yeah, it's a really strong cast across the board. I also wanted to bring up actually Elizabeth Marvel, who played Jean.
Oh, Jean was pretty funny too.
And that is such a weird character for her. We've never seen Elizabeth Marvel do something like that. So I'd seen her in House of Cards.
Okay.
She was a presidential candidate. And then in Homeland...
I heard of that. Was that a TV show?
Yeah, it was the TV show with Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey. I didn't see that, but...
A political drama.
Yeah, I've definitely seen like previews for it.
And Elizabeth Marvel also played the President of the United States in Homeland. Okay. So she always has like these very, upstanding political characters. And then in the Meyerowitz Stories, she's kind of a basket case. And she has this terrible look, where normally she's very pristine looking. Mm-hmm. So it was very wild for her, but she was great in the role.
Yeah. They're all like a family of like artists. And you brought up like a really good thing. Like there's one accountant, right, which is Ben Starr. Are we gonna? Is this a spoiler?
Yeah. Why not?
All right, we're gonna put spoiler alert, and we're gonna put spoilers probably in the title. But like when we were done watching it, or while we were watching it, I remember saying that like they're all a family of artists, and like Ben Stiller's character Matthew is like the black sheep of the family, who's an accountant. Right. So like they're all really quirky, except for Ben Stiller's character. He's just like he's basically like a Ben Stiller. And then you brought
he's the straight man.
He's the straight man. And then you brought up, it's like, well, actually, maybe it's just the reverse.
Yeah, the whole family is black sheep, and he's the one white sheep.
Yeah. So I thought that was like a stroke of genius right there.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool.
There's also something about his profession I thought was amusing. So the family introduces him as an accountant at dinner, but then once we see him in the film, it becomes apparent he is not an accountant. He is more of an investment manager.
Okay.
And then in a conversation that he has with Adam Sandler's character, it's clear that Adam Sandler doesn't know what he does either. I think that's kind of a common family dynamic where you don't actually know what your family does for a living. You don't understand.
Yeah.
You can't possibly understand.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was very deliberate.
Well, Dustin Hoffman's character is an artist.
A sculptor, yeah. And he was a professor.
A sculptor. So here's how the family's set up. So you got Dustin Hoffman is the head of the family. He's the sculptor, and he has children with two different women.
Right.
So Adam Sandler and Ben Stiller are half brothers, so they have their own mother, and like you see both characters in the movie, but it's mostly centered around like as far as like you see like Adam Sandler's mom like once.
Right.
And then it's mostly centered around Ben Stiller's character, Matthew. Danny is Adam Sandler's character.
Right.
Matthew is Ben Stiller's character. And it's mostly centered, like, she's in it more, so, like, basically has a more important role. And I just liked her. I just loved her performance. What's her name? Do you have her name or no?
Maureen?
Yeah.
I believe that was Emma Thompson.
Okay, so I really, like, enjoyed her performance. I thought she's like this, like, older hippie lady.
Yeah.
Like, just kind of just fuck all with life. And, like,
and I really like that line early in the film where first Jean says that she's plastered, and then later Harold says that she's been sober for 6 months.
Yeah,
it's like, okay then.
Right, but she drinks though, in the
right.
movie, so like when she's with her son Matt. But yeah, and that's kind of just like what the type of movie is. It's like what I like to call, like, I don't even know if this is a genre, but like, you know, like the Royal Tenenbaums. You haven't seen that movie, but I don't know if anybody.
I'll have to watch that one soon.
But it's similar to The Parasite, where it centers around a family. 2
families, but yeah.
Yeah, but like the main focus is family. And then there's The Farewell.
The Farewell also.
Which basically focuses on a family and their dynamics going through a life event.
Right, so these are generally comedy dramas that center on family dynamics.
Yeah, and it's like, is this a family movie because it's about a family? Or is it a family movie because it's good for the whole family?
Right.
And that was like another question that we had.
And I think that the Meyerowitz Stories represented the way families communicate really well. A lot of times they're not directly responding to each other. They're just kind of saying what they want to say. And that's really entertaining, but also very true to life.
Right.
There's almost like a fantasy that goes on in movies that we can even have a proper conversation in our dialogue. Mm-hmm. A lot of times characters in movies speak better than people do in real life.
Right.
And I'm, proving that right now, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, and our dynamic is the same thing too. Like, we don't listen to each other ever. Like, we just talk and just that's it.
Yeah.
We're just a couple talking heads, and we just hope that you like what
we actually hate each other.
Yeah, this is all just a performance.
Yeah, this was heavily edited.
Yeah.
It's all an illusion.
Make sure to like this
video. We weren't even here at the same time, in fact.
Yeah. Fuck this guy.
He's can't stand each other.
He's probably thinking the same thing. He's like, man, when can I ditch this motherfucker?
Right.
Like,
I want to go solo.
Like, I'm so done with this shit. I'm going to go see Star Wars, which I actually just saw not too long ago.
I did as well. That's a topic for another day.
Yes, it is. We could we could just have like a Star Wars podcast in the future.
We sure could.
I would like to do that, actually. I would like to talk Star Wars. But anyways.
I love these films about family dynamics.
Yep.
I think they're very quirky, but they're also really relatable. Mm-hmm. And maybe in some ways they're extreme in a way that it's like, I'm glad my family isn't like that. Mm-hmm. But they have this authenticity and just the chaos of it, and like all of the nuance of the way that people communicate. And I think a lot of times there are like deep issues that children have, and this is often adult children. I think that's what's really interesting.
Kind of like
right
here.
I think people like to imagine that once they grow up, they're out from under, their parents' heel. And that's not true. And we see that in these films all the time.
Yeah, it makes me feel pretty good about myself.
Right? And actually, I'm gonna talk about another fantasy that films represent.
Everybody.
I think there's a certain catharsis in films in maybe externalizing your problems. You might watch a war movie and think that war and the governments involved are the reason that we have problems that we have. And then in like a family drama, we're just going to use that term because fuck it.
Family drama, that's good. I like that. Family drama, that's kind of what it is.
I think we might like to imagine that our parents are the reason that we are the way we are. That we can kind of blame our parents for our problems.
Right. I mean, in a sense, like if you've ever... Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you.
Go for it.
Your train of thought here, but like, in a sense, like a Celestine prophecy. If you guys ever... I don't know if you're familiar with that book.
No.
So
that's sitting in your house somewhere. I think I've seen it.
I have like the 10th Insight. But basically what the Celestine prophecy is, that's how I pronounce it. It's just like,
Sure.
in that book, it tells about like pain dramas and like how we handle pain.
Okay.
Like some people get angry, some people get aloof. And they were saying that a lot of it comes from our parents.
Okay.
So
That's
like
fair.
if anybody that knows what I'm talking about is just trying to find a way to tie into what he's saying.
Right. And I'm sure that it's a factor, but I think that maybe these films, focus so much on that, maybe oversimplify the reality. I don't think that's a bad thing. That's not a criticism at all. Like, I think that there's something cathartic about boiling down your problems to one simple source. And even as you watch this family that traces back a lot of their problems to their parents, like, you don't hate them, and you don't hate your parents either for watching this.
No.
It's just so natural.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool. Like, I was wondering, I was like, you know what? Mediocre Dude, I found out that you really like these kind of movies, because those are the kind of movies we've been watching lately.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just, there's nothing wrong with that, but like, he just likes it, and I think it's for that reason, like, just to kind of be, it's making me, not specifically for you, but it's making me kind of think like, well, maybe it's because we like to watch other family dynamics and dramas to compare it to our own,
right,
and like feel okay about,
I think it could be really
about our situations.
Yeah. You commented the two leads, like Danny, the kind of failing musician, and Matthew, the accountant. They're like me, like rammed together, or like the two of them are rammed together are me, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I did.
I kind of relate with both of them in a way.
Yeah, and we didn't even bring this up, but like, to this formula, there has to be like a life event going on for the family.
Yeah.
And in this one, just like real quick, just to address what that is, like to kind of complete the puzzle, Dustin Hoffman's character, Harold.
Yeah.
Meyerowitz.
Meyerowitz.
Yeah, I struggle with this name.
Yeah, it has some strange Jewish spelling.
Yeah.
It's like Meyerowitz. But it's pronounced Meyer. Not Meyer, so...
Whatever, but like he goes into the hospital, I guess, a brain tumor or something?
He had an injury that he didn't have looked into earlier in the film, and it happened that Adam Sandler's character, Danny, was also not looking into an injury, and he has it looked into.
Pretty funny, so like father, like son. So.
Exactly.
So, but I mean, at the end of the day, the movie is essentially what it is. It's just, you have this quirky family, you're following them through a life event, and it just so happens to be Dustin Hoffman's character ends up in the hospital, and like they're dealing with that, and it's just seeing how the family interacts in response to a situation like that, and that's essentially the movie.
And I think the crux of this plot was kind of this role reversal between Danny and Matthew, where Danny was close to the father, but maybe had some baggage, and Matthew was very distant from the father. And this, his conflict with his father was very up on the surface.
Right.
But then by the end of the film, Matthew kind of works through it, but then Danny boils over. So they kind of switch.
It's pretty cool.
Their roles in their relationship with their father. Pretty
cool role reversal. And yes, there is somewhat of a sibling rivalry. They do have a little fight scene between the two. And I was thinking about it. Remember in the scene that right before, I think it was right before it, Ben Stiller's character Matt busted out the pills. Yep. And he was like, one makes you high, one makes you low. And they both
they don't know which is which.
They just took it. And I think that somewhat contributed to them like fighting in a way. Like their moods were all weird. But yeah, that scene was very touching for sure. The other thing that I want to raise about this is I feel like the way that it was edited was very strange at times. It was very quick. We noted that a lot of times scenes would cut, a few seconds short, and that the first fade out was like an hour and a half into the movie. There was a lot of like very... Oh my god! the daughter character is just like likes to be in perverted nude movies. Right. It's so funny. Vagina Man! Yep. Yeah. So definitely check this movie out, guys.
It's really entertaining.
It's a great movie. The Meyerowitz Stories.
And it'll make you feel good about your family.
Yep. Adam Sandler, Ben Stiller, Dustin Hoffman, and then who else?
Elizabeth Marvel, Emma Thompson.
Right, and then there's some more people in
there. And Adam Driver, who Noah Baumbach worked with on Marriage Story as well.
Cool, yeah. And Kramer approves.
Yeah.
All right, and Kramer also says like, comment, subscribe to the Baddest Dudes.
Right, and also Seinfeld is a series that has the crazy parents
Oh yeah, there you go.
Maybe the first example that I had.
Right. Serenity now!